What did I say? Oh, what did I say? No, this ain't Tory, but I told y'all the truth, the truth. I told you that love triangle was dangerous. I told you, oh, she done did it. She crossed her best friend like that, and it was a wrap. I told y'all. I told y'all. I don't care. It's pitch black because I told y'all. I speak nothing but the cold, hard truth. I said this a year back. Now the trials are going on. Guess what? Who did I say was the one that shot Meg? Who did I argue, condone for the situation? What did I say? 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 Ooh. What did I say? Look, I'm not trying to make light of the situation. Either way, it sucks for all parties involved. But what did I say? I said Tory did not shoot Meg. I said Meg could not determine who it was that shot her because she had her back towards the shooter. Who did I say had more of a reason or a what's the terminology? We're gonna stick with the reason for lack of better better diction. But who had the biggest reason to shoot Meg? The dude that looked at her as another hit and quit, or the former best friend that felt betrayed by someone who she played a big sister to growing up? This ain't funny. It ain't funny, but at the same time, it just feels like as if clarity is coming to the world. I defended Tory, not since day one, but after realizing some facts. Because the first things first, when I reacted initially, and I'm telling you right now, you can hold it against me. I don't give a damn. All right? Yeah. I was caught off guard, and I couldn't believe that Tory would do something like that. But then you look at the evidence. Shit don't add up right. It don't. Now, for me, that was my reaction, but that's without even looking at the facts. And that's something that I had to correct myself, my mentality. And that's why y'all got to do the same thing too. Going forward, look at the evidence. All right? I made that mistake, and plenty of other people did. But the difference was, I'm not afraid to admit it, to correct myself, and turn that bitch around 180, because I'm more willing to do the right thing than rather lose face. I don't give a fuck about that. The truth is the truth, and whatever you pursue, you go for it. Who gives a fuck if a million people gonna look at you like a monster, like a fool, like the biggest loser in the world? Shit. I done been called many fucking names, but you know what? That ain't ever gonna stop me from living. That ain't gonna ever stop me from pursuing what I wanna do in my fucking life. Pursuing my fucking dreams. You feel me? Yeah. It's an explicit-filled fucking video, but you know what? I don't give a fuck. Because this shit come from the heart. Alright, so enough sidetracking. But to get to the fucking point, you know? It's just, I had to follow my intuition. And that's one of the reasons why, like I said, I forgot what's his name, that showed me all the evidence and everything. When I first came at it, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? That was my thing. And one of my subscribers gave me clarity. I read it up. I'm like, yeah, this shit look like it's fucking framed. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But that, and you got to consider the fact that Tory, in his heart, believes he's a man of God. Now, he's not perfect. Y'all know this. I get out on him about his music. His direction of his music definitely is flawed, which is putting it lightly, for the last 4 or 5 years. Ever since his debut album, which to me is still his peak. And I love New Toronto too. Chicks Tape 4 was great, but that shit was on the decline. Like I said, his peak was 2016. God damn it, I'll never forget that year. With a T, not with a D. Anyways. I know y'all been missing hearing me for a minute, man. Hey, look. I'm going to tell you this right now. It's just best to talk like this with a light reflection. Better keep it like that, you feel me? But, you know, you don't need light to hear what I got to say. Because the light already is shining on this fucking case. But everywhere, Twitter is fucking blowing up on that shit. And I'm telling you right now, I'm so fucking done with social media. I'm done with arguing with people. Because at the end of the day, I cannot beat them in terms of being stupid. You know, who's the stupidest of... Let me cut my tongue for a second. I cannot win in a battle of stupidity. That's just not me. They want to be ignorant. Fine, I'm going to let them be ignorant. But I'm going to say my piece and move on. And yeah, sometimes I might throw some dig at you. I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. And at the end of the day, I gotta man up and face you for that shit. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. It's just everything seemed off about the case when I look at the facts and all that. And sometimes that's what we gotta do. We gotta look at the facts and be like, okay, let's open our minds. Some people weren't willing to open their minds. A lot of black women on that ignorant shit because they want to be of gender party. Black women, black women, black women. Y'all don't even realize it's bigger than a gender. It's bigger than a race. We're all individuals in our own ways. Let's respect that. First and foremost, our gender and our race makes about 10% of who we are. So long as you keep that in mind, I promise you're going to be doing big things in this world. Don't keep yourself rounded so small with that closed-minded mentality. That being said, you just got to look at things from an open-minded view with no bias tied to it. Like I said, I mean, I bumped this dude's music for fucking heavy for 5 years at least. From fucking 2014 to, shit. What was it when I first felt the change? Like 2018. But like 2014, yeah, 5 years. And I noticed things changed from there, but still, I did not let my bias of music appreciation for who he was and as an artist get in the fucking way. Because at the end of the day, if you commit foul, I'm gonna say you fucked up for that. You gotta atone for yourself. And looking at the facts, that's not what the case was. Now, I don't care that I'm not big enough to speak on this. I don't care what people think, whatever. My piece is my piece. It is what it is. Hell, this shit might even come back to bite me and haunt me in the future. But I don't give a fuck. I gotta speak what I speak on. So, now, for me, I prefer to move on the low, keep quiet, let things happen, be incognito. Yeah, I do. But at the same time, sometimes you gotta face things. When life throws a huge, what could I put it? Not like a turning point, but essentially it is that, where you have to choose between the two paths. What are you gonna do? You gotta choose what path you take, and you gotta fucking stay determined. You gotta stay on that shit, like all the way through. See it through. You feel me? I guess I'm too excited. That's why I'm like, shit. I can't find the right words to speak on, but man, like this isn't like, you know, me showing people that I'm right or whatever. But sometimes you just gotta open your mind and see what it is. And as long as you have a good estimate or a good guess that is based off facts and is of unbiased, that's where sometimes people might say, oh damn, you could predict this, or you're great. No, that's not what it is. It's just you took a educated estimate is what I'm gonna say, all right, of what the situation could be. And don't think this is math or whatever. Look, The word is the word. But at the end of the day, it just looked fishy. And you got to use not only book smart, but street smart and just social skills and all that. You got to add all different types of elements when you figure things out. You got to figure out what the relationship was between people, how they are, how they act. This is like private investigative shit, yeah. But at the same time, you're just trying to find truth. And you know, I've been put in many situations. It don't even have to be with shit that's none of my business in the first place. I get it. But like, I've been in a situation where I'm trying to diffuse an argument. You got to figure out both sides of the story. And I told y'all, I do not believe Meg was lying. And I do not believe Tory was lying. I believe they both told the truth from their perspectives. I said somewhere around the middle, you have to connect the two dots together. And the fact was, even though Meg knows she got shot and she assumed it was Tory, which was, like I said, a terrible mistake, the fact is she had her back turned to the shooter when it happened. So what do you think that meant? She don't know who shot her. She just turned around and saw Tory holding the fucking gun. People say his DNA wasn't found on it. It don't fucking matter about DNA. It matters about, what matters is intention and who was it that wanted to gun her down. Like I said, Tory had no fucking business or even any ill will to even think about picking a gun up and shoot her, let alone even fucking put a hand on her. That being said, like I said, what were the facts? There were reports. Meg and Kelsey were arguing in the car. Tory said he was hopping in. He saw they were arguing, went back out, was hanging out with Kylie Jenner and all that shit. Came back in, drove off. That's when more ensuing arguments happened. Meg eventually said, I'm getting out of this bitch. Got out the car, started walking out. Then she heard a couple shots. Boom, whatever. I don't know how many gunshots that was fired. But from what reports were and what I'm reading, like I said, I felt like that was that's what I believe that really happened, was Kelsey didn't get the gun. She was about to shoot Meg. Tory got out the car, fought with her for the gun. And apparently, I guess a couple shots went up in the air. Whatever. It is what it is. Like I said, truth is coming out from this trial when everyone was trying to keep this shit under wraps. It just felt like it was just too easy to predict, in a sense, when you really add things up. I'm telling y'all, don't fuck with me. I'm a fucking deep thinker. I'm probably giving myself out too much for saying that, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a deep motherfucking thinker. Don't fuck with me in the trenches. Don't fuck with me in the motherfucking trenches. I'll get your ass, nigga. I play it like chess. Now put your bullshit with me to rest. Anyways, I'm too late on this bitch, man. I'm having fun. Fuck it. I'm living life, whatever. But, yeah. So, Meg gets injured. Like I said, she turns around. Within that 2 seconds, it don't take long to immediately, if you know, like, you the one with the intentions to shoot, you know this nigga gonna just stand there and hold that gun, right? You gonna fucking let that shit go, slither back in the car like as if nothing happened. Like on some sneaky, smooth operator shit. You trying to pull some Sade. You do that, and you leave Tory hanging out to dry, with Meg immediately making eye contact, dead eye, with this motherfucker, knowing that he's holding the gun and already saying, you the motherfucker that shot me. Even though he was holding the gun, doesn't mean he was the one that fucking pulled the trigger or had the intention to shoot Meg in the first place. When you add and connect the dots together, it makes motherfucking sense. When you put in a situation where you do not know necessarily how to defend yourself, and I get it, Tory was in hot water for it. Fuck it. Same reason why I'm defending Deshaun. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Most of those accusers, if not all of them, are lying. And the best thing I could tell you is that there was probably 2 or 3 women that might have mentioned something that could have been a serious reason to pursue a case against him, and they had 19 other women to sign up just to add the numbers and make it high. So that way it's 24, 26 accusers, whoever gives a fuck, saying that Deshaun, and people want to call him a sexual predator or rapist. It's like, the fact is, even Tony Bugsby, the attorney for these 24, 26 women, said it wasn't for sexual or like abuse or whatever term you want to use it. It wasn't like as if he raped them or he touched them, whatever. It was illegal touching without consent. whatever. Basically, it could be like his dick swinging and hitting one of the therapist's hands and be like, oh, that's touching me without consent. That's how weak this shit is. And y'all buying it, eating it. Like, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. Cheap fucking McDoubles. That's what y'all doing. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I don't give a flying fuck what y'all think. You cannot assume what's the most obvious thing. Just because it's word of mouth doesn't mean you gotta assume to believe it. Like I said, I made those same mistakes, but I corrected myself and I grew from it. I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks otherwise. We all make mistakes. We gotta look at facts. People can change. People can grow. Do not stunt it and be like, oh, but you said this back then. That means the person changed. If you want to, hold them to what they said now and see how it goes 2 years down the road and see if they still about that shit. People change. It is what it is. For the worse, for the better. That's just human life. That's just growth. Doesn't mean you gotta come in and ruin the whole fucking garden about that shit. You know what I mean? Let the seed do its thing. Sometimes you want to start changing with yourself. You gotta allow people to sometimes change for the better if they really willing about that shit. Yeah, sometimes I called motherfuckers out too when I was younger. They don't matter. Now, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna chill. Let you do you. Let me see you keep making progress. And you know what? At the end of the day, I'm going to give you your flowers when you get to the end of the fucking road. End of discussion. We all make motherfucking mistakes. End of discussion. Just like when I'm going to fucking celebrate Tory when he does make those achievements doing his music his fucking way rather than the industry trendy ways. I'm going to give you your flowers. I'm going to be like, you know what? Fuck those 4 or 5 years where you was doing some bullshit music. You, at the end of the day, you stop that shit, you turn it around, and you got back on track. That's all that matters. Whew! Man, that was a lot I had to get off my chest. A lot. I'm not going to waste it on fucking Twitter. I'm not going to waste it nowhere else, but rather right here where you can see my motherfucking face in motherfucking broad daylight. And I'm going to tell you the truth. End of the fucking discussion. All right? Praise be to God. Although I still question certain things that we always do, like, and sometimes it's going to be like that. That's just human nature. But at the end of the day, yeah, we could question it, but we also should keep a mind open to want to know what, who, when, all that shit. Just like we were learning when we were kids. We used to think, what the fuck is it that they're giving us this? Like, why do we got to learn that? But, you know, that's real life applications. We don't realize it until we're grown up. Who, what, when, where, whatever. You feel me? So just keep that in mind and continue to grow and prosper in life. And I'm not saying you can't be you, but I'm just saying, don't be afraid to add a little spice of knowledge and wisdom on your life. Stay safe and stay blessed, y'all. Deuces. Ow!